There are a ton of creepypastas created within the Roblox community. Some of them have become very iconic, developing fanbases that are dedicated to them. In this video, we will be talking about one of these creepypastas. This creepypasta talks about a group of eyes that appear in-game with 3 colors known to exist. People that see the eyes in-game should leave, or else they will face dire consequences. Rumors of these eyes have dated all the way back to 2017, with many reports having been made public since then. This is the story of Bloxwatch, eyes that stalk you in Roblox. Obviously, some people who come across this video will beg the question, Brian, what is this Bloxwatch myth you're talking about? Well, for the few of you who don't know, Bloxwatch is a Roblox myth/creepypasta that is about a supposed pair of red, yellow, or white eyes that can be seen in-game. Getting close to these eyes will cause the player's Roblox account to get deleted, as well as IP banning the user from the Roblox website. Throughout the past several years, Bloxwatch has changed from a myth about eyes that stalk players to something that is reminiscent of myths such as John and Jane Doe, as well as the community, who I'll make a video on in the future. A group was created for the myth with only certain people being allowed to join. Bloxwatch itself is just a creepypasta, but that doesn't stop people from submitting reports about eyes being seen in-game. Bloxwatch is normally described as being a pair of red, yellow, or white eyes that can be seen in-game during the nighttime. These eyes are said to be, quote, brighter than stars, which is how they are visible. The legend states that those who see the eyes should not approach them and should leave the game that they're currently in. Failing to follow these rules will result in dire consequences. An example of where these eyes can be found is in one of the tunnels in an old version of the game Jailbreak. A screenshot exists of these eyes being seen in-game. However, it is unknown as to what happened to the person that took the screenshot of the eyes. The story of Bloxwatch goes all the way back to 2017, where a conversation between 2 Roblox users was leaked. The conversation showed that the 2 Roblox players spotted a pair of eyes in Roblox High School, with one of the players telling the other to run from the eyes. The conversation ended there with no additional messages. This led to many theorizing that these 2 players were banned from Roblox, as well as having their accounts deleted. The user that shared the message log went on to state that these mysterious eyes are mainly seen in popular Roblox games, which are the ones seen in the front page. The same user has also stated that they saw the mysterious eyes at work at a pizza place. Some information was also provided, such as the fact that viewing these eyes in-game will change your device's date to January 30th, 2004, which is the day that Roblox's domain was purchased. Some rumors also state that Bloxwatch has existed since the early days of Roblox, with reports dating as far back as 2006. The user ends off with a warning saying not to go near the red eyes, which are also known as the King of the Watch. Not much else came from this user or the conversation since then. After all this happened, the Bloxwatch creepypasta started gaining recognition due to various Roblox YouTubers making videos on it. A specific video made by Inquisitor Master was uploaded on June 21st, 2017, and it has gained over 687,000 views since then. She made several follow-up videos, all of which have amassed a combined total of 8.8 million views. Some other YouTubers that made videos on Bloxwatch include Oblivious HD, Dennis, Bunny, and Remainings. All of these videos contributed to the large amount of growth that the Bloxwatch creepypasta experienced. Due to this growth, the Bloxwatch creepypasta started going through changes, such as various groups having the Bloxwatch name being made. Some of these groups even had their own HQs, which was the Roblox headquarters building used by a group known as Prove It. This also played a role in popularizing the March 18th rumors. This map was originally made by Builderman aka David Baszucki, the founder of Roblox. One thing that should be noted is that a majority of players who joined these Bloxwatch groups had similar usernames, which consist of a 0 followed by an underscore and a group of random numbers after this. An example of this kind of username is 0_1127. Due to these changes being made to the Bloxwatch creepypasta, this led to various Roblox YouTubers making more videos. Some of these videos showed them visiting games related to the Bloxwatch legend. The owners of the Bloxwatch related groups used this new boost attraction to their advantage. They targeted big Roblox YouTubers and threatened to hack them on a certain date, just like the events of the March 18th rumors. This, of course, didn't happen. The point is, a lot of changes were made to the creepypasta, which changed the direction of the legend starting back in 2017. It is unknown as to which changes were made by the creator of the creepypasta and which ones were made by random people who wanted to be a part of the Bloxwatch legend. A few months had passed since the videos on the Bloxwatch legend were made, and this led to the decline of Bloxwatch's popularity. Naturally, people moved on from the creepypasta and focused on other things. This didn't stop some bigger and smaller YouTubers from making videos on the Bloxwatch creepypasta. Nowadays, not much has happened regarding the Bloxwatch legend and the groups and accounts associated with it. The creepypasta can still be considered to be active since its existence can't be confirmed nor denied. Regardless, people still like to report sightings of Bloxwatch in-game. I briefly talked about the eyes that make up the Bloxwatch creepypasta and the accounts associated with it, but I haven't talked about what they actually do and how they behave. It is often said that approaching glowing red eyes, which are also known as the King of the Watcher, will cause the player's account to get deleted, along with IP banning the user from the Roblox website. The white eyes were also something that the player should be careful of, but most rumors state that these eyes don't seem to pose any actual threat to the player. The users that were a part of the Bloxwatch creepypasta, regardless of whether or not they were official representatives of Bloxwatch, will normally have all black avatars, with certain ones having red or green body parts, as well as wearing free shirts. This gave people the impression that the users tried to pass off as hackers and exploiters. These same users would usually hang out in the Bloxwatch HQ and type in either binary or Morse code in order to creep out random players who joined the game. There are several games that are meant to house the Bloxwatch HQ, and I'll be going over 2 of them in this video. The first game is called Official Bloxwatch HQ and was made by a user known as Bloxwatch, who is now terminated. This game was supposed to be the official headquarters of the Bloxwatch creepypasta. Official Bloxwatch HQ was made on September 6, 2017 and was last updated around 3 years prior to recording this video. The game is under review, however, which means that no one can play it. One note of interest is that the description has a link that when clicked/tapped on leads to a group known as Official Bloxwatch. What's weird is that this link is written in reverse. Despite this, the link is still functioning. I'm gonna talk about the group itself later on in the video. The second and final game that I'll be going over is a game titled Bloxwatch HQ and is owned by a user known as Engraved. The game itself was made on September 2nd, 2017 and was last updated over 3 weeks prior to recording this video. A difference between the first and the second game is that the second game was made 4 days prior to the first one. Also, the second game can still be accessed to this day. Because of this, I'm going to be going over what can be found in the game made by Engraved. The player spawns in an area that leads away from a building. Going forward will lead you to the Roblox headquarters building, which is modified. There is also a sign outside of the building, which is also modified. Instead of the sign displaying the word Roblox, it displays the word Bloxwatch. The word below the sign is also a mirrored version of the word Roblox. When you enter the actual Bloxwatch HQ, there is a basement that one can access. Immediately upon entering the basement, there are a group of PCs that represent the computers used to create Roblox. There's a hallway that one can go through, which ends up leading to a small room. One of the walls of this room contains writing that says, "We are coming." This phrase is written all over the wall. There is also a screen that says, "Awaiting next input." I'm assuming this is meant to represent the main computer used to hack Roblox games and stuff. What I didn't know about this room is that you can get trapped inside of it, and I think a code is needed to exit the room. Without knowing the code, your only way of escaping is to reset your character. One thing to note is that on the side of the Bloxwatch HQ, there is the letter B, which obviously stands for Bloxwatch. You can also go up the stairs in the HQ, which doesn't lead to anywhere particularly interesting. One of the floors contains a desk with a red tablet thing on it. I'm assuming this also represents a device used to hack games and stalk players. One thing I noticed is that there were exploiters in this game, which makes sense since this game is related to Bloxwatch. I also found a trapdoor on the ground near the HQ, but it doesn't seem like the trapdoor leads anywhere. Other than that, this game doesn't really contain anything that special. In my opinion, the game is pretty basic for being a part of a famous Roblox creepypasta. It's just a Roblox HQ with some creepy effects, which makes sense considering its purpose. Also, in the past, the recommended section of this game will lead to several other Bloxwatch related games, one of which was the first game I mentioned in this video. However, it seems like this is no longer the case. Overall, I'd say that Bloxwatch HQ is a game worth checking out. You won't find much, but we'll see the users of Bloxwatch in action. As mentioned earlier, there are a lot of Bloxwatch related groups that were made during the peak of the creepypasta's popularity. Because there are a lot of these groups, I'm only going to be going over 3 of them. The first group is called Bloxwatch Corporation and is owned by a Roblox user known as Preston Adams 832. Apparently, the current owner of the group doesn't have anything to do with Bloxwatch as shown in the group's description. The group itself is pretty big, with over 30,000 members as of December 20th, 2021. It is also allied with several other Bloxwatch related groups as well as having some merch that one can buy. Basically, the group is no longer serving the purpose it used to. The second group is called Official Bloxwatch and is owned by a user known as Bloxwatch, who is terminated as of recording this. The group is the biggest of any Bloxwatch related group with over 35,000 members as of recording this. The group doesn't contain much other than a piece of merch that can be bought from the group store. A point of interest is the group wall. If you look at any post on the wall, you can see that the dates are written in reverse, which is very unusual for a Roblox group. Other than that, the group doesn't contain much else. The third and final group is called Bloxwatchers Official and is owned by a user known as Private Virus, who is still active at the time of writing this. The group is also pretty big, with almost 22,000 members as of this video going up. The group's description lists some of their targets, some of which include Dennis, Creekcraft, C-Dang, and Tofu. Bloxwatchers Official does have a game, but I won't be going over it in this video. There is also some merch in the group store that one can buy, and the group is also allied with a few other Bloxwatch related groups. This isn't all of the Bloxwatch themed groups that can be found, but these should give a rough idea of what to expect with them. As one might know, trivia is just extra facts that are relevant enough to make it onto the video, so without further ado, let's get into the trivia. The first piece of trivia is that a lot of theories have been made to help explain where Bloxwatch came from and what its intended purpose is. Some of these theories include Bloxwatch was created by either Roblox administrators or hackers/exploiters, seeing the eyes would cause the Robux and/or items from your inventory to be stolen, and it was an April Fool's joke made by the administrators somewhere in 2006/2009 that they forgot to remove. A lot of these theories add to the creepypasta's purpose of being creepy. The second and final piece of trivia is that the most viewed video on Bloxwatch has over 6.6 million views at the time of writing this. The video in question is titled "The New Roblox Hacker is After Me? Roblox Creepy Mystery, Not Clickbait" by Inquisitor Master and was uploaded on August 24th, 2017. It is one of 3 videos Inquisitor Master made about Bloxwatch and is the most viewed of the 3. So, what did I talk about in this video? Bloxwatch is a Roblox creepypasta focused on a pair of red, yellow, and white eyes that, when approached, cause the player to get terminated as well as IP banning the user from the Roblox website. These groups of eyes are normally seen in Roblox games found on the front page. Bloxwatch dates all the way back to 2017 with a conversation thread leaked by an anonymous user that was about a pair of eyes seen in Roblox High School. The user who leaked the thread admitted to seeing the eyes in game as well. The Bloxwatch creepypasta gained traction during the summer of 2017 when various Roblox YouTubers made videos on it. Because of this, many changes were made to the original legend, and eventually Bloxwatch ended up becoming a different legend than how it originally started. Something that came out of these changes were many different groups associated with the creepypasta and various accounts claiming to be a part of it. A lot of theories were made to try and explain what Bloxwatch is and how it works. A lot of games are made along with this to help carry on the creepypasta's legacy. Knowing all of this, Bloxwatch will forever be an infamous Roblox creepypasta, and that's everything.